Hello friends, and welcome back to Swift Lessons for a special holiday by request song tutorial. In today's session, I'm going to be breaking down John Lennon's 1972 classic, Happy Christmas, The War Is Over. Now this is an awesome song for beginner and intermediate level students to learn because it's mostly just very common open position chord shapes, but tons of variations that you can use for your own compositions. Now I'm going to get started with a full demonstration of the tune, and you can follow along using my chord sheet and my strumming guide at patreon.com/swiftlessons. Now let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, a new one just begun. And so this is Christmas, I hope you have fun. The dear ones, the old and the young, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. And so this is Christmas, for weak and for strong, for rich and the poor ones. The road is so long, and so happy Christmas, for black and for white, the yellow and red ones that stop all the fight. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. And so this is Christmas, and what have we done? Another year over, just begun. And so happy Christmas, we hope you have fun. The near and the dear ones, the old and the young, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. One is over if you want it. One is over now. Okay, close look at the fretboard and also my pick in hand. Getting started with the verse section. We're in standard tuning, key of A major, though the song does fluctuate up to the 4, the key of D major. In regards to the timing, a lot of players like to think about this as being 12/8 time. I've seen some say 4/4 and 2/4 time, but I think for ease of learning, it's best to talk about the guitar part in this song as being 3/4 time. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is how we're going to be counting. Okay, so as I mentioned in my introduction, and also showed in my demonstration, this tune features some very basic open position chords, one bar chord in the B minor, but also some really cool and interesting variations to each of those chords. With the beginners in mind, I'm going to show you how to play the very basic, simple version of the chord progression without all the variations, then we're going to add some color by throwing them in. So in its most basic form, our first chord progression for the verse is going to be A major. We're going to have the chord B minor, which might be a little bit of a challenge for the beginners out there. If you're not ready for your bar, consider just taking your index finger and playing the 2nd fret high E string. So then we have 4, 4, 3, 2. Then we'll go to the E major chord, and then return back to the A major. So there's your first chord progression. A major, B minor, E major, and A. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate a very basic, beginner-friendly version of that first half of the verse. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, a new one just begun. Alright, so that's going to reveal the strumming pattern that we're going to use for this entire tune. Just down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Or you could count it by beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 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 on that A major chord. You can do the same thing on the B minor chord. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and then we can transition to the E major chord. 1, 2, and 3, and 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 return back home to the 1 chord, A major. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1. Okay, so that's the basic approach to being able to play through that first part of the verse. Now that we have the basic approach, let's add in our variations. Okay, so we're going to have 3 different variations to the chord A major. The first one is going to be A sus2. So here's your regular A chord. The A sus2 is created by simply taking the pinky off. The next variation we're going to have is A sus4. We're grabbing that D note, which is the 4th note of the A scale, which is why it's called A sus4. We're trading the major third for the 4th note of the scale, A sus4. Then we'll go back to the A major chord. So A major, A sus2, A sus4, and back to A major. Apply your strumming pattern to each of those different variations over the A, the A sus2, the A sus4, and the A major again. In time. Just like that. Okay, now let's check out the B minor chord. It'll sound like this. Okay, very simple. The B minor chord with that strumming pattern. B sus2, take the middle finger off. Then lift up your bar. This is an easy way to make this sound. Make sure the B string and high E string are open. And repeat the strumming pattern before going back to a regular B minor. Okay, now moving on to the E major chord where we're going to have this set of variations. So that is E sus4, that means your pinky's going to be on the G string, 2nd fret. A regular garden variety E major. Then if you can reach it, if not, it's optional. We're gonna go for a chord that we're gonna call E add 9. We're taking our pinky and putting it on the F sharp on the 4th fret of the D string. It's gonna sound like this. Super pretty, very melodic chord. Then return back to the E chord. Real slow, you put all that together, we have. And did you notice how I kind of shifted up just before I reached for that pinky note? That's part of the key to being able to reach that chord. Okay, and from there we're back to the A major chord where we repeat that entire sequence. For the first half of the verse. Okay, great work everybody. You have the first half of the verse down. Now we're jumping into the second half. Real quick, I'm going to demonstrate it first in its most beginner-friendly format, then I'll throw in all the variations for a second demonstration. All right, that beginner version is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, D. E E minor, A major, D major. Okay, and with all the different variations, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, D. E minor. A major. D major. All right, and that will get you to the chorus. Let's break that down. Okay, so the basic underlying progression for the second half of the verse is going to be D major for 4 measures, E minor played with the index and middle finger on the A and D string, a little unusual. We'll have that for 4 measures as well. Then the A major chord for 4 measures before returning to the D major for 4 measures. Now, let's add in the variations we're going to have for the D major chord. D major, D sus2 by taking the middle finger off and opening up the high E string. Then we're going to have D sus4, the pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E string. Then back to the D chord. All right, so those variations one more time. Notice how when I go to the D sus4, I already have my middle finger in place to go back to the D chord. Okay, now here's where the challenge comes in. After that D major chord run, we're going to go to E minor. And we're going to throw in some really cool, but kind of tricky, stretchy variations here. Okay, we're really going to have to reach for these. So it starts off with the E minor chord. E minor, major 7. You have to take your pinky and put it on the 4th fret of the B string. Okay, if you can, try to move the wrist forwards, that way you can get the high E string open as well. Of course, that is completely optional. You don't have to do this chord, but it is on the original track. Then we're going to have a nice E minor add 9 chord, just by grabbing the F sharp. That's going to be the 2nd fret of the high E string. So here's all those E minor variations. We have E minor major 7, E minor add 9, and back to E minor. And that definitely took me some practice. My thumb is so low in order to get that space that I need there. Okay, and after that run on E minor, we're going to go back to A major, but we're going to descend down through our variations. A sus4, A major, A sus2, back to A major. Then return back to the D major chord and repeat what you had played there before. To complete the verse section. Okay, great work everybody. By now you should have the entire verse down. I'm going to play through the whole thing with all the variations and see if you can keep up. Let's play along. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, A, sus2, sus4, A, B minor, sus2, sus4, B minor, E sus4, E, add 9, E, A, sus2, sus4, A, and D, sus2, sus4, D, E minor, major 7, add 9, E minor, sus4 on the A, sus2, A, and D, sus2, sus4, and D. Alright, and that final D chord there in that sequence, that is where the chorus is beginning. Okay, great work everybody. You have the verse down. That means the bulk of the work is behind you. Now all you need to do is learn a very simple chorus section. I'm going to demonstrate for you starting from the end of the verse. It's going to sound like this. The old and the young, a very Merry Christmas, that's the G chord, and a Happy New Year. The A major, let's hope it's a good one. E minor, G, and D major, E7, E6 to get you back into the verse. Okay, so very simple. It began with that D major chord coming out of the verse. And over that chord, we're going to be singing the note B. A very merry Christmas. And that'll get you to the G major chord, where we're going to have the strumming pattern 4 times. So 4 measures on G. Christmas and a happy new. The same thing on A major. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to have E minor for just 2 measures. 1, 2. Same thing on the G chord, 2 measures. And then the D major chord, 2 measures, followed by 1 measure of E7, grabbing that 3rd fret of the B string. And then go into down a half step with the pinky, that's going to be E6, since it's a C sharp note, and C sharp is the 6th note of the E scale. All right, you put that together, we have, from the D chord, G, 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 and A. E minor, and G, and D. E7, E6. Now the only other thing I might do, just to add a little bit more excitement to the track for solo performance, is walk down here and there throughout that chord progression. So if I have the D major chord, and then the G, all this will be normal, just strumming through. But then to get to the E minor, I'll hit a G and F sharp, go to the E minor, and then I can walk back up to G. All right, so walking from the A chord down to the E minor, I have lots of different ways of performing those kinds of walk-ups, but it's always done with those 2 chords going from G to F sharp or vice versa. All right, walk-ups, a fantastic technique for beginner guitar players. To get back to D major. Okay, and then we're gonna have these magical 2 chords, E7 and E6. Now, E is the 5 chord in the key of A, so that's going to allow us to move back from the key of D major, which the chorus was in, going back to the key of A. So always remember that the 5 chord creates a lot of intensity. It kind of creates a crescendo, which can only be resolved by that chord's 1 chord. So the 1 to the E major is A, which creates the feeling of resolution. All right, everyone, if you have that verse section and that chorus section down, guess what? You're ready to perform. Congratulations. All right, everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on Happy Christmas, the War is Over. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a song that you would like for me to teach next, click through the link in the description to swiftlessons.com and put in your request now. I want to thank my patrons for making all these lessons possible. Thanks so much. I hope you're enjoying the extra resources. I got many more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.